Hello again, my friends, and you are my friend in the first bombshell. Shock, not bombshell. As we start tonight's show, that man there on the screen, on our thumbnail this evening, not making the squad today due to illness, injury, one of the two. But we should still have enough about us to try and go on and take 3 points today. Welcome to your Matchday Ticket pre-game show. I am, of course, your host, the Gov, as we sit here together through the next 2 and a bit hours of our first Tuesday night league away game of the new campaign. And I am certainly looking forward to just seeing what unfolds this evening. A good opportunity to test ourselves on a game many are seeing as the potential slip up. I see it as a game that if we play our style, if we do the things we are good at, and do not get dragged down to the game I believe they want to play, we should be all okay. Let's set a like target for this evening. If we can hit 60 likes, there are currently 82 of you watching on YouTube alone. So if we can hit 60 likes, we'll return with our 10-minute halftime show. So please do get active and hit that like button. It does help the show. And if you want to take the chat off the show, if you want to take it with you, if you want to be involved in ITFC conversation 24/7, do consider becoming a YouTube member or a Ko-Fi fifth stander and getting involved in our Discord. It is incredibly busy. I haven't checked it since the team news came out, but I've got a feeling it's probably gone off a little bit. Let's check in with that team news before I bring in our contributors. There you can see Christian Walton in goal, Janoy Danassian, Luke Wolfenden, George Edmondson, Greg Lee makes his start at left back. Lee Evans, Sam Morsey, Sonny Aluko comes in, Marcus Harness, Caden Jackson, and Freddie Ladapo. The benches are Ladke, Burgess, Davis, Vincent Young, Edwards, Chaplin, and John Jules. We did speak on yesterday's show about the physicality of Burton, and McKenna mentioning it in his media conference with the club officials on the website. Is it a reason we're seeing Greg Lee tonight? I don't know. I do not know. It could be a 3, but I'm probably edging towards a 4-2-3-1 here this evening. We'll get more into that in a second. Let's get some comments first of all. Jason Clayton, still no ball. Burns with a slight knock from the weekend. Time for some players to step up to the mark. Gino's disappointed not to see Kia on the squad, but nice to see Jackson. Philip, disappointed not to have Burns at all. Jackson's not a chance to really shine. Ipswich Paranormal. Ipswich Evening Gov 3-0 Town. Do like that. Mike D coming through. You can always see when a guy watches the shows with careful detail. Depth Gov. Now we're about to see it. Absolutely. Something I've been a little bit, concerned about. Is quite true. So we'll see how that goes tonight. Philip Blundell still sticking with a 2-1. We're not at full strength. Adam, good evening. All had a great week so far. Taking the mick out of my budgie supporting mates. Brandon says 4-2-3-1. Thank you. The debut Brandon there coming through with the correct formation. Benjamin Michael, hopefully Caden can add to his 20 goals in 126 games. Well, we all hope that, Ben. Let's be brutally fair. Philip says we'd like to see TJJ later on in the game. And there we go. So let's get cracking on with the show. Get some comments in. Got Greg Lee starting at left back. No Wesley Burns. Caden Jackson coming in. Sonny Aluko starting. Lots and lots there to unpack over the next 20-25 minutes. If you've not yet done so, of course, hit that like button, but also hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the channel. Right, our first contributor. Let's bring him in. He is, of course, the one. Actually, let me just go to his home and dig out his intro. The aficionado, Stephen Thompson.
No, I think Bottas he'll be the one to really hold out.
Our resident F1 aficionado into the waters once again. How are you, first of all? A beautiful town shirt. The man with many retro shirts has pulled a pearl out of the bag this evening.
Yeah, I've got to go with this one. It's one of my all-time favourites. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, what about it? It makes it your all-time favourite? That's a big claim, that all-time favourite.
This is the first town shirt I ever had as a kid. Obviously not this one, I've grown since then, but this is the first town shirt I ever had as a kid. I was given it by a family member many years ago. Mm-hmm. Obviously outgrew it, wore it to death, found this online a few years ago. I had to buy it. Just something about the design. It's baggy as hell, even though it's so large. Start wearing your duvet. It's brilliant.
Nothing wrong with a baggy shirt, my man. Absolutely nothing wrong. Chris Boyd, Morsey nailed on for a card tonight, the way Burton played. Would you go along with that? We're obviously 4 games into the league campaign now. Is Sam Morsey due a card?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's gonna be tonight, isn't it? I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Well, if it has to be done, it has to be done. Particularly away from home, you've got to disrupt and stop a team, Steve, that on Saturday was cruising and then ended up drawing the game 4-4. This is a really good opportunity to play Burton, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, okay, they've scored 4 goals there, but they've had such a leaky defence. Was it 11 goals conceded in 3 games? It's absolutely shocking.
It is.
And we've got some very good players at the minute who can do goals.
Well, yeah, absolutely. We are missing one of our key players, Wesley Burns, from the weekend, out with a knock, an injury, an illness, whichever one it may well be. How is that going to impact this evening? Does that affect your confidence as we head into tonight's show? Okay.
No, not really. Obviously, I'd rather see Burns there and starting, especially how he did, last game. But no, he's still got a good team. There's good depth in the squad. It's not knocked my confidence too much. I think we'll be okay.
Oh, not knocked your confidence too much. We're going to be okay. I like that. It's good that you have that confidence early in the squad depth. We are 137 people watching us on YouTube. I want 70. Do I say 70 or 75 likes? I'll say 75. If I said 70, then I've upped it by 5. We're currently on, Stephen Thompson, 53. So if they want us back at half time, for 10 minutes, they need to get hitting that like button. It's not a tall ask, is it?
No, you know what to do. Doesn't take that much effort.
You know what to do. It doesn't take that much effort. I tell you who else knows what to do tonight, Stephen Thompson. That's Caden Jackson. As Benjamin put in the chat earlier, hopefully he can add to his 20 goals in 126 games. That is a stat that hangs over him. Listen, you only change perceptions by doing the business on the field. How big is tonight for a man that came in this time last week and didn't perform well? He's now in league action.
That's the surprising thing, isn't it? Didn't really set the world on fire against Colchester. None of that squad did against Colchester. He's got to make a mark, isn't he? This is a prime opportunity. First league start for the season. He's got to get in there. He's got to make a mark, get a goal, show us what he can do, what he's capable of. We've seen flashes of it in the past. He's just been so inconsistent over his time here. But this is a key opportunity.
A very key opportunity. And I'll ask you a little bit later on the show what sort of game would be a good game for Caden Jackson. Obviously everyone would say 5 goals, 10 out of 10, but realistically, what could we be looking at? But we've often said about Freddie Ladapo, who got 2 goals here, thanks to Lee Anderson for pointing that out when he played for Rotherham, is that he's probably better in a 2. 4-2-3-1-4, 4-2-3-5, 3-4-3, whatever it might be. Do you want to see, your Caden Jacksons closer to your Freddie Ladapos this evening, purely because you want to see what Big Freddie can do with that partner?
Yeah, I do. We know what he can do in a 4-4-2. Obviously, he did over the years with Norwood. It didn't go too badly. As a lone striker, he didn't really set the world on fire, I suppose. McKenna could obviously see something in him, and he obviously trusts him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, you say what would be a good game for him? Maybe not a goal, or I'd love to see him get a goal or 2. Maybe not just a goal, just put himself about a bit, maybe an assist or 2. Just at least make a claim. But do you think having Caden on the field while you sort your webcam out there? Because I do like talking to you, Steve. I think it's brilliant. But if you can't sort it, not a problem. We can operate without it. But do you think having Caden on that field will really help Freddie, who has had his critics early doors in the early part of the campaign, hasn't got off the mark yet? He'll want to himself. I think he's done tremendously for the football club and worked really hard. Yeah. But do you think having someone like Caden on the field may really benefit Big Fred? I think so. It's going to give him someone a bit different to work with as well. Sorry, I'm trying to sort of webcam out.
You're absolutely fine, my friend. Crack on.
I think it would give someone a bit different to work with. I think it could be good for both of them, really.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And obviously, Freddie scoring 2 goals last time he was here. Don't forget, we are in a partnership with Ipswich Buses. Go contact us on all routes across Ipswich. From £2.20, I believe the fares are starting. Gino, this formation has the look of a bit more muscle about it in comparison to the last Tuesday. Lee Cole's hoping for a few of our strikers tonight. Louis, evening everyone, looks like 4-4-2. EJ, don't come up formation we play as long as we win. Lee Anderson, can't see it as 2 up top. It would mean changes to pattern of play, and we need to keep the ball. He's working hard, says Sean. Absolutely agree with you, my friend. Goals will come. Moving further, back into the lineup there. Greg Lee, Steve, starts at left back in replacement of Leif Davis, our current marquee signing in this window. Is that a surprise to you, or were you expecting to see Greg Lee come in and have that starting position at some point in the early part of the campaign?
Sorry, I've got no luck with the webcam. I'll try again a bit when the game's on. Yeah, I think it's good to see him come back in. I'm not surprised to see him involved from the off so early on. I think it's nice to chuck him in, see what he can do. Davis was doing very well. He's sort of grown the past couple of games. But yeah, you got to maybe give Davis a bit of a rest, start Lee, see what he can do. Because again, we've seen good things from him as well. I'm intrigued to see what he can do, how well he links up with the other ones. So. Yeah,
particularly the formation that we may or may not be playing this season. Lots of talk on that. You mentioned the rest for Leif Davis. Now, obviously, he wasn't a player that had a full pre-season or a lot of the pre-season, and Saturday was extremely hot. Is that playing a little bit, do you think, into the selection, that it did just zap so much out of players? And if you've not had that one of pre-season at the club, maybe you are, in terms of being behind the group, just that little bit further behind after an extreme weather day like that.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, obviously, like you say, he joined up relatively late compared to the guys around him. It was insanely hot on Saturday, so that would have sapped his energy. And obviously, without a full pre-season, sort of with the squad around him, it might struggle, or he might have struggled with it. So, we've seen people struggle when they first come into a squad without a full pre-season, and then just that relentless heat obviously wouldn't have helped. So it probably made it so much worse. So, yeah, I reckon he'll come on at some point, maybe for the second half or later on in the second half. Obviously in place of Lee, but
those 5 changes sort of really help in there. A couple of comments. We've got Steve 154. The Egyptian King makes all the difference for these sort of opponents. I'm confident Freddie will score a hatful this evening. Lee Cole, if we play as consistent as we did Saturday, the 3 points is ours. Louis makes a comment. Obviously tonight you've got Jackson and Ladapo on the field, Steve, and on the bench you've got really as strikers Chaplin and John George, and we'll come to Chaplin in a moment. If Hurst doesn't come in, as Louis says and reports are suggesting, both the strikers are on the field tonight. You haven't really got that third recognised out-and-out centre forward. How much of a blow is it after chasing Hurst all summer? Is it that he perhaps wouldn't be coming?
It's frustrating, but I was getting to the stage now. This saga has just been going on for so long, a bit like the whole Selena thing, After a while, it was a bit like, at least he's just confirmed somewhere. If I'm sure that Mark Ashton and everyone's got another plan, if Hurst doesn't work out for whatever reason, it would be nice to see him come in, but I'm sure there's another option or two out there. It's starting to drag on a little bit now. Will he, won't he, that sort of thing. I thought it would have been put to bed by now, to be honest with you.
Well, this is it, yeah. And obviously, the more it drags on, the less time you're left with the window. That it's closing down. It's 14 days away. It will be at some point closed. So yeah, absolutely agree with you there. Another thing that's surprising me while Steve sorted his webcam out is obviously Connor Chaplin. After such a fantastic game Saturday, not in the team today. Aluko coming in. People know my thoughts on Sonny Aluko. It's got to be a big game from him today. He's got to really keep that ball. As Lee says here about Morsey and Evans, he believes they're key tonight, and he's be picking up the second ball from Burton's long ball. The midfield 2 do seem to be that midfield 3, I guess. That diamond of 3, if it is a 4-2-3-1, could be really key. With Aluko, Morsey, and Evans. I mentioned Jackson because I saw Ben's comment in the chat. I saw Ben's name really, and anytime you see Ben's name, you think of Caden Jackson. Ben Michael would be a last out of the window bond signing. Mark my word. I have floated that idea already to people, but there we go. I was just mentioning there, Steve. Connor Chaplin, great game Saturday, not in the team tonight for whatever reason, on the subs bench. How much of a big game is needed from Sonny Aluko, first of all? Because Chaplin has set the marker for what the 10 needs to bring to this team. Oh, he's on mute while he sorts himself out. Let's get a few more comments. Craig, I think we'll win, but the two guys with the worst stats in our squad's attacking unit are Jackson and Aluko. Cole Brooks, need a big game from Aluko. Sega, Aluko will keep the ball and bring some space. Matt Johnson, Aluko was fired, but preseason's preseason, Matt. Do it in a game. That's where I want to see it. And tonight's a great opportunity for him. I think Aluko's strength is his ball retention. And tonight, I think, as Lee has sort of expertly said, the ball retention, once we get it, is going to be so vital. And just in the vital stat components, goals, assists, he needs to show that little bit more. For me, but for someone like Colin, absolutely loves and adores him. Snake, so is this hurting? Is it true he's a free agent? No, he's not a free agent. He's about to sign a new deal. We're led to believe at Leicester. Chris Boyd, Aluko to have an hour before Chaplin comes on if needed. Carl Brooks, the core of the team hasn't changed. We'll be fine, but I wouldn't be surprised if the scoreline is close. I don't think it'll be a runaway score. I think people are going into tonight's game really expecting it, Steve, but I don't think it'll be a runaway score.
No, sorry, I'm having no luck. I don't know what's going on.
That's all right, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I reckon a 2-1 to Ipswich. I think we'll just edge it. We've got the squad to do so. But it's not going to be, a 3-4-5-0 sort of thing, as much as I'd love it to be that sort of scoreline. It's
we all would.
Game. They play different football to the likes we've seen so far this season. A couple of people either not starting or out for whatever reason that we'd have thought maybe would have been in there. So it's really tricky. But yeah, I'm still confident we've got the depth of squad to do a good job.
Okay, beautiful. We were talking about the midfield triangle of Evans, Mawson, and Aluko really being key to keeping the ball, and just making us purr. Would you go along with that? Is it vital that when we have the ball, we do as we always do, and just pass the death out of it, but pass it with real intensity and desire? Yeah,
I think so. We need to keep hold of the ball. Obviously, the possession has been really good recently. Anyway, we tend to be quite good with the possession. I think those mid three as well, Evans, Morsey, Aluko, all fantastic players, certainly at this level. It's a good call for Aluko as well, getting him starting. Has he started a game for us so far this season, or has he been off the bench the whole time?
Aluko?
Yeah.
He hasn't started yet. It's his first start of the campaign, okay. I think, from memory.
So it's it'll be a good chance for him to show what he can do. Obviously, we don't expect him to start every game this season.
No,
he's one of the older guys. But it'll be good to see what he can do. He is incredible at this level as well, and him teamed up with Morsey and Evans will be a fantastic trio, I think.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, they can provide Jackson and Luke and Ladapo with some good football and
Louis. Sorry, Steve. Louis, because I can't see, I'm not quite sure when the pause in the breath is or when the pause in the sentence is. We'll sort it out. Not to worry. We're having all sorts of tech issues at Talking Town Towers. Neil Mole's also having tech difficulties. He'll hopefully join us for the halftime show. Louis Fenton, question for everyone. Actually, Louis, that's a great question. I'll bring that to the match reaction show post game. So do join us to hear that and have that answered. Ian, probably get more money really if we sign new contract. George Hurst, like we do with Simpson. Carl Brooks, the first goal in this game is more crucial than Saturday. I think it'll be tight tonight, and I suppose this is when we start to really see, Steve, just how much Jimmy Floyd has a hold on his team at Burton. I've read some of their message boards. Some people want a new manager. They're going to have to really respond from Saturday's disappointment tonight. So that's why I believe it will be a really tough, tight affair, because he should have his team bang up to prove Saturday's capitulation was a one-off.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks really good when you think, oh, look, they scored 4. Wow. But they also conceded 4. And they've shipped 7 goals before that in the first 2 games. So it is going to be tricky because they do concede a lot. They are capable of scoring goals, but they are quite leaky at the back. So, I've seen a lot of comments about either, Jimmy Floyd out or, some people standing up for him, obviously give it time sort of thing. Some people are calling for him to go. This is a good game to stake your claim in. Obviously, Ipswich Town, one of the bigger teams in the division, got off to a great start. get a result against us tonight, it could start to turn your season round, and it could obviously silence a lot of critics, but I really hope they don't.
Well, this is it. This is a game that old Ipswich would possibly lose.
Mm-hmm.
This is not old Ipswich, though, so we're not going to bring those negative thoughts to it. Ashley Bell says, I was watching this stream on Twitch, and now OBS was playing up, so it might be an OBS thing.
Possibly.
Andy, just don't use OBS.
Yeah.
I don't. I could do, but I don't. Andy Barrell, big test tonight. I know I can see it. It's got a big OBS symbol there. Big test tonight. First Lumpit team we're facing. Right, bold predictions time. You've already said 2-1. So I'm going to ask for your goal scorers, Steve. For the chat, I want your bold predictions as we round up our pre-game show. We are back at halftime because you have hit the like target of 75. Scrap that. You haven't. It's 73. You've got literally 60 seconds to 2 minutes to 2 more people to pull their finger out and hit the like button while Steve tells me who his 2 goal scorers are.
I am going to go with Ladapo getting his first goal, and I'm going to go with Morsey.
Okay. Ooh, I like it. Okie dokie. We've got 2-0 Town from Blue Soap, 4-0 Town from Mike, 2-0 Emerson, 2-1 Carl, 4-3 Adam. 0-1 says Kev Chaplin. At 5-1 says Ashley Bell. That's a really bold one. I like that. Oozle says 2-0. 1 goal in it or a draw says Lee. And Ashley also says 5-1. Ladapo hat trick. I will take that every day of the week.
Nice.
Particularly this evening. We're back at half time, Steve? Yes, we are. We just smashed the like target. There you go. More than 2 people did it. We're back at halftime for 10 minutes. We'll see you then. Hopefully our tech issues across the board have resolved themselves. But thanks for watching. We'll see you all at halftime. And hopefully we've got 1 step forward and closer to 3.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I get blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just